The RX150s are here at Croft this weekend for a double header. Chrissy Palmer, as ever, is the man to beat. Qualifying concluded. Guess who topped the times across each of the qualifying runs? It is that man Palmer going for a 5th straight title. Chrissy Palmer for pole position then as we get set for the start. Race engineer Sam Clannell is alongside a man responsible for much of the work on Ollie O'Donovan's cars, Steve Jones, lining up on the outside of the front row, and then the Harrises, father and son Steve and Brett on the back row of the grid. Lights go to green, we go racing. Good start by Palmer. Is it good enough though? Because Sam Clannell makes a good getaway, tries to level with Palmer on the outside. Chrissy finds all the puddles, gets all sideways. Clannell goes ahead, but can he slow the car down in time for Clairvaux? Yes, he can. Good getaway that. Sam Clannell around Hawthorn in the lead of the race, but he goes way wide. Palmer up the inside, and all of the experience is put to good use. So Chrissy Palmer goes through into the lead. Now he's going to take some stopping, I would have thought. 4 times a champion. He could be a 5th championship victor in this race alone. Never mind tomorrow. Down he comes then towards the end of lap 1, starting to build that gap, but he runs out wide and look, finds all the mud off the road. Steve Jones spins in the background. Clannell is in the mud as well, and you just get completely sucked into that. The car bogs down. Look, they're all way out wide, all struggling for grip and momentum. Who gets out first? It is Sam Clannell, who's back ahead of Palmer. Where there's a line, you're fine, but going off that, you're in real strife, as you've just seen, and so Chrissy Palmer has got to do it all over again. Speed builds as they find some hard standing. Back onto the tarmac. There's a bit of grip there. Down towards Clairvaux corner then. So Clannell leading, Chrissy Palmer in 2nd spot. Does he go for a race win? Does he just bank the points and take the championship? Let's see as he goes now through Hawthorns. He's not quite close enough yet to make a move. The road getting a little bit drier. There's the bright sunlight now for the drivers to cope with, as well as hitting the loose section is the race leader. All of these RX150s, these motorbike engine buggies, now becoming brown in colour, but if you peer through the numbers, 187 there is Steve Harris ahead of his son Brett, so the family feud continues. Dad keeping Lad at bay as they drop down towards the loose part of the circuit now, through that long right. Slow the car down, otherwise you go out, as you see there, Brett Harris into all of the mud, and we've lost Steve Jones from the race. Look, his spin, he's not able to rejoin from it. Brett Harris sideways, almost a spin, finds more puddles, finds more mud, and loses momentum. So Steve Harris, who we've seen in supercars in the past and in the retro rallycross category, came out of RX150s initially. He goes through in 3rd place. There is Chrissy Palmer. Now where is he in relation to Sam Clannell as he got himself into the lead of the race now? Let's see. There is Clannell. So yes, indeed, Palmer is up front. His customary habitat in RX150 racing, and he's away and gone as he thinks now about another championship. We've seen him winning Formula Ford festivals, we've seen him in Mazda MX-5 successfully, in historic saloon racing. I know I pose this question so often, but where does Palmer go next? There is nothing to prove in RX150s. Brett Harris there, recovering after his spin into the chicane now. Sam Clannell looking impressive in this, comes up towards the end of the lap, but has run Palmer good for his money across the day. Down towards Clairvaux then goes Chrissy Palmer. Dad Chris, former Caterham racer turned Formula Ford 1600 racer. And despite their Chichester base, regular was Palmer Senior at Alton Park many moons ago in the Champion of Alton Formula Ford series. Now, through the chicane, onto the loose, comes the race leader. Chrissy Palmer, it is on his own. Now, making sure he's error-free. Sam Clannell is still pressing on, but again, going through Hawthorn, way out wide, sliding almost off the road and back on again there. For 3rd place, Steve Harris goes through. And you can just see how much water and mud there is dragged onto the tarmac. This is going to be a very muddy circuit tomorrow that's going to need clearing up for the next activity at Croft. And a spin down at the hairpin there, look, for Sam Clannell. Gets it back underway again, but he's lost yet more time to Chrissy Palmer. Although he's on target for a championship, Chrissy has only had 2 victories this year, both at Pembrey. Silverstone was won by Mark Scott, Lyddon by Steve Jones. The first visit to Pembrey, John Armstrong, one of the many guests that's dipped in and out of the season. They didn't do Lyddon in August, so Chrissy has had 2 Pembrey wins, and a Croft victory beckons, but it's not been the 100% roll of honour that you might have anticipated. Clennell into and out of the chicane in second place, still chasing on. Steve Harris for third and Brett Harris in 4th place. Brett Harris, a regular in RX150s over the years. Steve Harris likewise. There he is, coming out of Hawthorns then, but a long way back. So many of the drivers, of course, having lost out early on when they all slithered wide down into the hairpin. But Chrissy Palmer has made good his escape now. He's on his last lap. Back onto the tarmac, you see how he brakes late. The car pitching under braking, flicks it into Clairvaux here. Steve Jones has tried and failed to get back underway and eventually abandoned ship. Chrissy Palmer, race leader, but we've also lost Brett Harris now. Brett Harris out of the race. So now Chrissy Palmer heading up towards the line. As he does so, Sam Clennell dropping further and further and further back. Despite the impressive opening lap that he had, he's really having to settle for second place now. Chrissy Palmer picking his lines, finding the drier part of the circuit, and only 3 survive the rigours of the RX150 final here at Croft. And this win is going to be enough for Chrissy Palmer to get title number 5 as he comes across the line. Checkered flag is waved, and for a 5th time in his career, Chrissy Palmer is RX150 champion. Second in the race, it is going to be Sam Clennell, and third, and the only other survivor really, is Steve Harris. So Chrissy Palmer, race winner from Sam Clennell, Steve Harris third, and with spins we lose Brett Harris and Steve Jones. But as far as the championship is concerned, he's done it. Chrissy Palmer takes gold yet again. Steve Jones second and Brett Harris third. Well done to the new champion, Chrissy Palmer.